Our current online security for personal data is referred to as a paper tiger. It appears that we have security, when actually there's no security at all for most cases. Personal data is traded by companies for huge profits, and every time you shop online, that data is going to be sold to other companies. People are getting fed up with how the media portrays all this and how online media now doesn't talk about how their data is being sold, even when you're watching news online. Who you're watching and how long is all being sold. Today, we're going to talk about what we can do about this privacy issue and see if we can discuss some solutions. Hi, I'm John Kavanaugh, and I'm a criminal justice major, and I'm a senior. And I like technology because it's always kind of been part of my life, and I'm kind of interested to where it's going to go. And I really want to be a part of technology, so I'm not kind of out of touch. So I want to always keep up to date with what's going on and make sure that our rights are being protected. But overall, I think technology is going to benefit the world in such a way that our kids are going to live a way different life than we will. And we're going to be out of touch in a few years, I think.
Hello, my name is Ryan Barish, and I'm at CS 340, and I'm a psychology major at the University of Alabama. My personal interest in modern technology is I love how easy it is to get relevant information at any place at any time, and this is only due to modern technology. My question today is, what should the rules be for personal data? Should anyone be able to buy data? Should we entrust an institution to sell our data? Either way, I believe personal privacy is lost. My answer to that question is, our personal information is very important and should be kept private. If someone's personal information was stolen, they are now vulnerable to attack. This can lead to identity theft and fraud. It's very hard to trust someone or even big companies. Companies try to collect every type of information they possibly can about someone to try and sell this individual about what they might need or be interested in. The internet is a big way of life for Americans. There should be more restrictions on selling data with more secure ways of hiding information.
I don't think personal data should be stored at all. I think if it's stored, then it can be stolen in some kind of way or hacked. Then I'd rather have the data stored in very short periods. So your online data and your shopping and all your personal data in that way will just be stored very short periods. This way, there's no chance that the people can hack it and your data can be stolen because millions of people get affected by that every year. Their data gets stolen, and it's just because it was stored somewhere that was weak in security, which is always going to happen because people are going to store the data somewhere, and then the security is going to get slowly worse and worse, and then eventually they're just going to be able to hack that data. So if we invest money in this kind of security where your data is not very stored very long, and that's all I care about. We have to move towards anonymous online, I think, because the more we spend doing all this tracking, and when your personal data is being tracked to every extent, you're going to just be open to all sorts of things. So I think if you're anonymous online, then it kind of solves most of these things. And I think that's where we're going to go in the future.
An argument to support my claim is I found a global survey conducted by research firm Ipsos, not sure if I'm pronouncing them right, and it showed that most adults surveyed across the world prefer knowing little or nothing about how much personal data companies and governments hold and how they use it. Only 1 in 3 adults globally have a good idea of how much personal data companies hold about them. In this survey, that was about 35% of people. Or what they do with it, 32% of people. Even fewer have a fair idea of how much personal data nationally and local authorities told about them, which was about 27% in the survey, or what they do with it, 23%. Knowledge is generally lower in countries where personal data is more regulated.
Another thing Americans do a lot is they give up their information for a chance to win loyalty points or rewards, and they will gladly give away their birthday, their email, their their likes, their interests, all in the name of trying to save some money. So this is how some companies use this to honestly they use it to sell their data afterwards. So it's kind of interesting how you think that you're getting a good deal out of it all, but I mean the company's the end of the day.
To conclude, personal data is now treated as a form of currency that companies can trade and sometimes get stolen from. The larger the store of information, the bigger a target it is. We have seen major companies lose customers' data and not be able to do much about it. The government is not even free from attack. If we do not strengthen data security, then we will continue to struggle with cybercrime.
A Pew Research Center poll told us that 6 out of 10 Americans think that no matter what they do, that their data online is going to be tracked and stored somewhere. So, what does this tell us? It tells us that people think there's no way out of the system we have, and that they think that no matter what, they have to shop online, so their data is just going to have to be stored and kept somewhere. It's kind of a learned helplessness, and it's really affecting our data security and privacy online.
We are going to interview some people and see their thoughts on this matter and see if we can't get a broader perspective on what our classmates and what our friends think.
Garrett,
Where are you from?
Gatlinburg, Tennessee.
And what's your major?
Finance.
What do you think the rules should be for our personal data?
I think it should be our information should be kept to ourselves unless we give specific rights to somebody else for other reasons like study purposes or things like that.
Do you think anyone should be able to buy our data or entrust an institution to sell it?
I don't think that we should sell or anyone should sell our data that we didn't give specific permission to for study reasons. I don't think that information should be used to sell us things or anything like that.
Thank you. What's your name?
Lev,
What's your major?
aerospace engineering,
And where are you from?
Highland Park, Illinois.
Okay, Lev, from aerospace engineer from Highland Park, Illinois. What do you think the rules should be for our personal data?
I think our personal data should be kept private, and then when you die, like given to the next of kin if they want it, or just deleted.
Interesting. Do you think anyone should be able to buy personal data, or should we trust an institution to sell our data?
I think it should be up to us whether or not we want to sell our data, not the corporations that take all of our data.
All right, thank you. That's good.
Hi, this is my friend Rob. Do you think anyone should be in charge of like holding data for like all of America, or like do you think it should be like some company, or do you think it should be like a government institution?
Well, I believe that when it comes to the private sector, it's a little bit risky for them to handle everybody's data. So I think there should be strict laws in place for the government, but at the same time, I don't think those laws should be infringing on people's personal rights.
All right. And do you think that like it's dangerous to store people's data?
Yes, I definitely believe it is dangerous to store people's data. If there's not the right safe holds in place, I think that data can be misused. And as far as advertising goes, I think it go a little bit too far at times.
And have you ever been like on your phone and it gets like something pops up that listens, you know, it's been listening to you?
Yes, definitely. I think there's been times where there's things I've said in confidence that have ended up in my phone as advertisements that I did not expect to be listened to at times, and it makes me a little bit uncomfortable.
Thank you, Rob.
Personal data should be a personal right, and it should be secured by the individual person, and that's what the future should bring.